SMT Nation, we back. We've got an update from, I guess this would be like Verizon and then also Charter Spectrum. They had this investor conference, and this thing was kind of like, it's kind of eye opening. So I wanted to cover it here on the channel and get you guys kind of in the know as to what's going on here. Let's start first by making sure everybody is aware. For those that are new to the channel, there are wireline cable operators, specifically like Big Cable Town, right? You have Spectrum, which is owned by Charter, and then you have Comcast, which operates as Xfinity. They sell mobile service, and they do so with Verizon as their mobile network partner. And they've been taking their share of wireless subscribers. They've been taking Verizon customers. They've been taking AT&T and T-Mobile customers. They don't make money on those customers in wireless service. They actually lose money on the wireless operation side, but they obviously are very profitable in the home wireline business. So they're willing to kind of lose money on wireless service, give people a great deal in order to keep them or get them on the coaxial cable, for home internet. And it's been a really interesting thing watching them compete for wireless customers and then watching Verizon and T-Mobile compete for home internet customers. And so far, Verizon and T-Mobile are winning, and it's not even close. They're winning huge. All right, now I got some of the main points from the investor conference here for Charter, Spectrum, the company, and we learned that the capex for that company is going from $9.0 billion to approaching between 10.5 and 10.8 billion dollars. Investors do not like that. And the reason they don't like that is because when they see the capex goes up, that means the company is not buying back shares with that revenue and free cash flow, right? It's going to capex. They they'd rather see it go to a dividend. That's the investors' world, right? So where's this extra capex going? Is it the mobility spending? Like, are they start the small cell network and macro sites? They want to do a mobile network to offload some of that Verizon usage, or are they kind of spending more towards the evolution of their wireline business? All right, so I think we have our answer after today. The end game for Charter Spectrum, with all their wireless customers that they've added, they've got a couple of million, I think. They've got a few million. Actually, no, they've been adding basically 200,000 to 300,000 customers every quarter for since maybe 2017 or 18. So that's 5 years of organic growth. So they got like 4 quarters in a year. They've been doing this for like 4 years. That's 16 quarters of major growth. All right. So that's a lot of customers. I think between Charter and Comcast, they're adding like 600,000 a quarter. Okay. So that just to show you how much they're adding. The goal is to reduce the gigs of data that are used on the Verizon network, their customers being on that network. In order to reduce the OpEx, they're having to increase their CapEx. So the goal is to move about 1/3 of the Verizon data usage to native Charter Spectrum mobile network. This would be a collection of small cells, wireless access points, those hotspots that you guys see sometimes when you travel around, right? And they're also, they're going to use their own transport, right? Fiber and coaxial, and they're going to start building macros, from what I understand. That's what people are telling me in that Spectrum footprint. Now, the time frame of getting this Verizon usage down 1/3 is around 2025. So this is going to require a lot of investment. This is going to require tons of planning. They're going to have to start all of that now. So that's permits and radio gear and orders and contracts. Don't forget about supplies and labor and project management. This is no easy feat to be a mobile network operator, which is essentially what they're going to be. The one advantage they have is that they have their own transport, but that's pretty much it. Everything else they're going to be new to, and it's complicated, and there's a lot of moving parts. It's not going to be easy. Ask Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile how easy it is, right? Now, in terms of them building a native Spectrum mobile network, today they have 25 million access points. Today. In 2025, the goal is to double it, to move towards 50 million access points. And that's essentially going to double their site density. So the collection of access points, hotspots, macro sites, and small cells, all those little snap-on, small cells that you guys see on the cables and stuff like that on power lines. And, that would be awesome for them. They'd save a lot of money. Currently, Spectrum Mobile customers are on Wi-Fi 85% of the time for their device usage. So 15% of the time, they're on Verizon's network. So the target and the project is going to probably move the Verizon usage down to about 10%. So if Verizon was at 15, they want to move it down to about 10%. All right, so reducing it by, one third. Spectrum Charter refers to Verizon as an MNO partner. They don't actually call them by name. I thought that was interesting. But this obviously is a lot of trouble to go just to save that little bit of money. I'm not sure how that plays out for them. I'm sure in the long term it makes sense. In the short term, it's going to require capex, and I'm sure investors aren't really thrilled about that. But in the long term, it plays out to their advantage. The average Spectrum Mobile user probably uses 3 gigs of data on Verizon each month. This would move them to what, 2 gigs a month, maybe, right? So all that trouble to do that. Um, they've got CBRS spectrum. I know that for a fact. They might have some other licensed frequencies as well, and they could always use unlicensed form of spectrum as it's available, like CBRS and other things. But the focus on reducing fixed wireless access 5G home internet, T-Mobile and Verizon are taking SOGA. Like Verizon's adding 100, 200, 300,000 customers on over quarter. T-Mobile's adding like 600,000 every quarter. Fixed wireless access is kicking cable's ass. And I think, Spectrum should be wise to maybe focus on pricing, stabilizing pricing, profitability on their wireline business. That is their bread and butter. They're focusing their efforts on a business that they lose money. Right now, cable's getting their asses kicked by mobile network operators. T-Mobile's kicking their ass. Verizon's kicking their ass. And in fact, Verizon's kicking their ass with a double whammy because they're the Spectrum Mobile customers use Verizon, and Verizon's also taking SOGA, right? Because they're adding customers. Meanwhile, Spectrum is losing customers, and Comcast is losing customers collectively as Cable Town. Man, this is so crazy. I can't believe that the way that this played out in the market is just incredible. This industry has gotten so dynamic and interesting. We'll see how this plays out by 2025. We'll see if they even get to that goal. And if they're spending an additional $1 billion, $2 billion in capex annually, investors aren't going to be thrilled about that. The margins are getting squeezed, folks. Investors are at attention on these matters. And we don't care. We're consumers. So we're like, yeah, go ahead. You guys have at it. Do what you do. We're here to take advantage. See, I don't invest in these telco operators, and these wireline providers. So I don't really give a damn. Maybe you do, and sucks to be you, I suppose. But that's just the way it goes. That's the way the cookie crumbles. What do you guys think? Sound off in the comment section below. You all the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard. Like, share, and subscribe for more. Turn on that bell notification icon so you never miss an upload. Links are in the description for my Twitter, my Gmail address for all business inquiries. Don't forget about my Patreon supporters and my YouTube members. Y'all are the GOATs. Appreciate it. Big shout out to you guys. And I'll leave you with some words of positivity here as we head out this video. Every new day is an opportunity to be great. Go out there and be great. Thanks for watching. See you all in the next one. Peace.